Welcome to Tenvik Apparel. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So today we'll be learning how to make a princess bustier blouse. So this is the measurement I will be working with. The length is 25. The breast point is 9.5. The under bust is 14 and 35. The half length is 19. The bust is 41. The waist is 37.5. The sleeve length is 10 and 15. The sleeve round is 14. The back is 16. The breast gap is 7.5. And this is the abbreviation for the measurement. So now I've divided it. This is what I will be working with. The under bust is 35 divided by 4, giving us 8.75. The bust 41 divided by 4, giving us 10.25. Then the waist is 37.5 divided by 4 is 9.3. The back is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. We don't divide the back by 4, we divide it by 2. So giving us 8. The breast gap also is 7.5 divided by 2. We don't divide it by 4, we divide it by 2. Breast gap is also known as nipple to nipple measurement. So now we have 3.75. So let's go for our measurement. So now the points, we'll start with the vertical measurement, and the breast point is 9.5. So I'll be measuring 9.5 now. The under bust is 14. So now the half length is 19, but this is going to be a peplum blouse, a peplum top. So I won't be using that 19 because it is going to be too long. So I'll be using my under bust 14. The vertical shoulder to under the bust is 14. I'm going to add 2 inches to it. I'm going to add 2 inches to that 14. So 14 plus 2 giving us 16. So then I will add half inch for sewing allowance to join the waist to the peplum. So giving us 16. So we are going to mark 16.5 out. So now I'm going to connect the line now. So now this is what I have. So the back is 8. Then I will add half inch. That will be 8.5. Then I'll be using 8.5 for the vertical measurement. Then here I measure 8.5 also. To get the chest line, the armhole, you can measure the armhole round of the person, or you divide your bust by 6, then you add 1 inch or 1.5 inch to it. So I'm going to connect this now. So here now, I'll measure the height and I'm going to connect it also. is what I have here now. So the neck, I'll be using 3.5 by 5. 3.5. Let's connect it. So I'm going to use my French cuff. You can use your hand, you can free it, start it while using the French cuff. So now I'll go down by 1/4 of an inch for the shoulder slope. So I'll be connecting it down. So now the next step now is to get the midpoint of the armhole, which is 4. I'll be using 4.5. I'll add half into it. So here I'll come down by 1 inch and I'll come up by 1 inch. As you can see now, this is what I have now. So here I will come in by half of an inch. So I'll connect it. To give the front a shape, because it's not going to be straight as the back. So now, to get our breast gap, I told you the breast gap is 7.5 divided by 2, that's 3.75. So 3.75 plus half inch, so that's 4.25. So I'll measure 4.25 down. So I'm going to connect it also. So now I'll come here to the half length. I'll measure half inch in, and out I will measure 2 inches. As you can see now, then the under bust I'll come in by 1 inch and out by 2 inches. So now I'm going to connect it to the breast point. And when you want to connect it, it must not be straight, it must be curved. So I'll be using this French cuff for it. Must be curved. Then down here, as you can see, then I'll come here also. I'll join the line, connect the line, then here also it must not be straight. I don't want a straight curve. Yes, that's what I have now. So now I'm going to connect this also to this place, the midpoint. I'm going to connect it. As you can see now. So this, the one here that we marked and the one here, we are going to connect it here also. So here also we're going to connect it. So we are not going to cut it out. We're going to cut it out. So yes, to take our horizontal measurements, the bust is 10.25. So 10.25 plus 1 inch we are going to use to join it. That's 11.25. 11.25, then we are going to add extra 2 inches to it. That is 13.25. 2 inches for sewing allowance. So we are going to mark it up here. Then the under bust is 35. So 35 divided by 4 is 8.75. 8.75 plus the 2 we marked here and the 1 we marked here, that's 3 inches. So 8.75 plus 3, 11.75. Then we are going to add extra 2 inches to it. That's 13.75. Then the waist, we are going to use the same measurement, the under bust. So you know our length, we didn't use 19. If you are to use 19, you can go for the waist length, which is 37. But now I will be using the under bust for it also. So and the under bust is 8.75 plus these 2 inches and the half inch here. That's 2.5. So 8.75 plus 2.5 inches. That's 11 inches. Plus 2 inches. So now we are going to connect it together. So here, come out. You know we've marked 2 inches already. So we are going to come out by 2 inches. And we are going to connect it, because when we join these 2 inches, it's not going to give us the accurate measurement. So we come out and connect it together. So connect it like this. So when we finish sewing, we can trace it out. We can trace it out. So up here, I'll come up by ½ inch. That's to join the shoulder. ½ inch to join the shoulder, ½ inch and ½ inch. So you follow this shoulder slope. So this is what we'll be using now. Yes. So we are going to cut it out now. So this is all we have for our princess bustier blouse. So now we are going to trace it out, trace all what we have here. So I'm going to place it on my fabric and cut it out. I'm going to place it on my interfacing lining and cut it out. So I'll be showing you how to cut the pad, the wording. Cut it out. I've cut this out. You follow the line you marked. So here also, I said you come out by 2 inches. So I want to show you how you cut it out. You come here. We measured to the midpoint here. We measured 1 up, 1 inch down. So you come to the 1 down, then you come by 2 inches. As you can see, up straight here. So when you want to cut it out, you cut it straight like this, then you come here, you cut it like this. As you can see, this one is out, then the shoulder, then you come here and cut it out like this. So we don't need this. As you can see, this is what I'm having now. So this is it. So when you want to cut it out on your fabric is going to be on fold. You know, this is a single because I'm using a sketch paper. So you are going to fold your fabric into two and place it on it like this, then cut it out. Also the same applicable to your interfacing. So now we go to the back. So the back measurement now. So we use 16.5 inches for the front. So we are going to use the same measurement we use for the front. We are going to use it for the back, except the bustier princess. That. So because this one is going to be ordinary princess that, there's no bust at the back. So we are going to mark 16.5 inches. Hope you understand. Just sit back, don't rush yourself and watch the video. You understand it, because I think it is well explanatory. So now mark it out, 16.5 inches. So now the back is, don't forget, we measured 8.5 inches, and here also we measured 8.5 inches. 8.5. Then you connect the lines together. So here is what I have here. Yes. So the neck is 3.5 also. But the depth, yes, don't forget the sewing allowance. Yes, I almost forgot the sewing allowance. So before that, I'm going to add extra 1.5 inch to it for the sewing allowance. So before you measure it here, before you measure the armhole, you had, you know, the shoulder is 8.5. So 8.5 plus 1.5. That's 10 inches. So it is 10 inches we measure. Sorry, I almost forgot. So it is 10 inches we measure here for the zip allowance. So we are not going to work with this again. Yes. So the neck is 3.5. So the neck 3.5 plus 1.5 inches. Don't forget 1.5 inches for the zip allowance. So 3.5 plus 1.5, 3/4, that's 5 inches. So it is not going to be low back, it is a high back. So I'll measure 2 inches. You can also measure 1.5 inches, but I'll prefer 2 inches here. So 3.5. Connect it. Then you trace it out. You can use your French cuff, but I'll use my hand for this. Yes. So you come down by 1/2 inch, then 1/4 inch for the shoulder slope. Then you connect it. So your breast point, vertical measurement, the breast point is is 9.5, so measure 9.5. The under bust is 14, you measure 14. So the bust is 8.75, so 8.75 plus 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches is okay. So 8.25 plus 2, that's 11 inches. Then the waist is, the under bust is 8.75. So 8.75 plus 2, that's 11. Sorry, the bust is 10 plus 2, that's 12. So you connect the line. So don't forget to add sewing allowance for it. So firstly, back bodies, you are going to follow what we marked at the front bodies. So 16.5, we marked 16.5 for the length of the front bodies. We are also going to mark that 16.5 also here. So now the first thing to do now is to mark our zip allowance out. Don't forget, you may forget, sorry, but don't forget to mark it out. We'll be using 1.5 inches for this, so mark it out 1.5 inches. Then connect the lines together. So it is very, very important. So the back is 8 inches plus half, like we did at the front bodies. So you start from that zip allowance, as you can see. This is where you start. Don't start here. Your measurement will be wrong. So you start here. Anything you want to measure will be from this line. So 8.5. This also is 8.5. Then here, don't forget, you start at that point, 8.5. Then you connect the lines together. So you come down by 1/4 of an inch for the shoulder slope. Then the neck is 3.5. Measure from the front for the front bodies, so you are going to follow it. Then for the shoulder slope, you connect it. So the depth for the neck, I'm going to use 2 inches. You can use 1.5, but I'll prefer 2 inches for this. So 3.5. So I'm going to trace it out. You can use your French curve. I'm using my hand. Then you trace it out here also. Out here. Yes. So now we are going to measure our vertical measurement, the breast point under bust, 9.5 and 14. Yes. So now our horizontal measurements, the bust is 10.25. 10.25 plus 2.5. We are going to use half of an inch to sew it, to join the princess, cut together. So that half plus 1.5 to join our fabric together. So 10 plus 2.5, that's 11. Let's make it 11. Don't forget, I start from the point, from the zip point. As you can see, don't start here, start from here. So together that will be 12 and a half, as you can see. So 11 up here. Then our waist is okay. Before I go to the waist, let's measure our breast gap, as we are also going to use the breast gap here. 3.75 plus half of an inch, that's 4.2. Mark it out. Connect it and see. So now we are going to measure half of an inch here, here, then down here and here, just half of an inch. Then we connect it together. And why we are marking this out is to cut the excesses of the, so connect it. Just follow it as a normal dart. So here we get the midpoint. I'm going to get the midpoint also. The midpoint we use for the front is 4 inches. We come down by half, that's 4.5. So we are not going to deduct 1 and 1 because it's not for the front bodies. We do that only for the front body. So then we connect it together. That's all. So you can freestyle it. You're the treasure I've been waiting for. Yes, this is what we have, and we are not going to go out by 2 inches because we didn't deduct anything here. So I'm going to connect it. So now for the horizontal waist measurement, we have 8.75 for our waist. Then don't forget, we deduct, we marked half of an inch, making 1 inch here. So we are going to add that 1 inch to the 8.75, that is 9.75. Then we add extra 2.5 inches, that's 11.75. So we mark it out. Same thing applicable here. Mark it out. Don't forget, our bust is 10.25 plus 2 plus 2.5. So that's 10.25. So we mark it here. So then we connect it together. This is what we have. So now we are going to cut it out, but before we cut it out, we'll come down here by half of an inch. Then we are going to trace it out. And you know why? Because this is for the back, and so that our zip allowance, our zip won't be folding when we fix our zip, so that we don't have a folding. You understand that shape? Just half of an inch. And sometimes when you see a dress, the back is longer than the front. This is what caused it, because the front part, there is bust, we have boobs at the front part, and there is nothing at the back, so it will be longer than the front. So to avoid that, you just land half of an inch out of it. Yes. And here also you come in by half of an inch also. Just try this, then you trace it half out and out. You start here, just trace it out, just trace it out, and come out here also. So it will give you a perfect shape. And don't forget here also, for the front, we added half of an inch for the shoulder measurement to join the shoulder, so we had it also. Please don't forget to give an accurate measurement. So we had it also. Then we connect the lines together. Yes, let's connect it. This is what we have. So this is what we'll be working with now. This is what we are going to cut out. So after cutting it out, I'll place it on my fabric and cut it out also. Please don't go and cut this place. You can notch it, so you notch it on your fabric also. You can notch it, that's the zip allowance, so that it will be easier for you. Please don't make a mistake of cutting that place out. So follow this line. This is what we have now, as you can see. So I'm going to place it on my fabric. Please don't forget, the fabric must be on fold. It must be on fold. So you cut this out, then we join it together. So I'll be showing you how to do that. Thank you.